Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another Hercule Poirot mystery for you. Again, Agatha Christie, a curtain. Now, if you see here, there's something written. It says, only one case still to solve. I did not read that. I saw the book at the library, like this, and I got it. Grabbed it and got it. This is the last Hercule Poirot book. The last one, his final case. The last case that's still to solve. I don't know that. Now the problem is, I have not read every single Hercule Poirot, and definitely not in order, so I might be spoiled. There might be some overlapping things, because the first paragraph says, Captain Hastings' invitation to a reunion with his old friend Hercule Poirot brings him full circle, back to the rambling country house of Styles where they solved their first murder together. I said it in the vlog that I'm filming for Hercule. I hope that when I go to the library next, which I will be done with this book, I hope I will not accidentally grab the book where they have their first murder case. Like I said, I have not read them in order. I have not read the first book yet, so maybe they work together ever since, since the first book. Maybe they haven't. I have no idea. So hopefully I do not get the book where it all started with them. That would be a mess. So anyways, I'm currently on page 64. I'm not that far in, but... So, this book is actually written from Hastings' POV, which is very nice and something new. So far I haven't read that, I like reading that. And the thing is, Poirot, he is old and fragile and he's sick and he's not looking or feeling well. However, his brain is still working. This is why Hastings was invited to this place. Poirot is like, you know what, I have one last murder to solve and I need you to be the body because I'm going to be the brains. I cannot really walk anymore. He needs help with a male nurse. No, he has a new valet, I think that's how he said, Curtis. He needs help, so given the fact that Hastings is still capable and able to do things, he will do that. There are a lot of people at this special place here. One of them is actually Judith, who is Hastings' daughter, like the youngest one, and she's working for Mr. Franklin, who's a doctor, and Mrs. Franklin, his wife, is also there. A lot of different people. And the story actually starts with Hastings walking into Poirot's room, being shocked at the way he looks, and apparently, he's getting older, but he still has black hair that is clearly dyed. Hastings even says something along the lines of, it's time to realize that dyed hair does not look good. It looks like a wig, and just, you know what I mean? But I get it, Poirot still wants to look his usual self, even though he's getting older, and he might not be doing it for long. Poirot actually offers him some files. I think there were 5. No, 5 murder cases. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 cases of murder mysteries, but in the end, everyone was seen as guilty. Now, Poirot is like, does that not sound suspicious to you? Why was everyone that was, suspected of murder actually the murderer? Is that not weird? Why was there no other suspect in? Why was only one person? And Hastings like, well, maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe it just happened. And Poirot's like, no, we have a certain X, person X, who could have been the suspect for every single murder. We just need to find out who X is, because from what I know, X was kind of like he knew the victims, or he knew someone who knew the victims. He was always in the background, but he was never suspected. That is Poirot's last case. He wants to find X. Okay, the fact that he can do it, like I said, Hastings has to do it now. And it turns out that all the victims were from the same county, and they might have some overlapping friends, family, colleagues, or maybe they visited places at the same time. They could have known each other, but did they really? The problem is they need to find who X is. Now, Hastings is walking around asking people and talking to people, kind of like Poirot does, but not in a... Like, he's obviously not a private detective. He's not, used to questioning people without people noticing that they're actually being questioned, you know what I mean? Poirot, he's just so easygoing with it, he's asking questions, and at the end he's like, you know what? I have solved the murder. I know how Hastings will do, I hope he will do good. The story thus far, however, like I told you, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people currently residing at the same place, and one of them is murder, because Poirot told him, what would you do if I told you that X is here, and one of us would be dead? So far, I really enjoyed the story. Like I said, I'm only 64 pages in, but damn, I'm excited. There's a bit like a private dilemma going on, because Judith, his daughter, she's seen with Allerton, who we have not really met yet. You know, like they never had a one-on-one conversation. And Hastings is of course like, hey, that is my daughter. Like, why would she be interested in a guy like that? Why would she be interested in a guy in the first place? You know, the poor father. We will see how it ends. I hope, you know, it's the last book. I hope it doesn't end the way I think and feel it would end. That Poirot is... Maybe he just decided to stop, like he's too old and he does not want to be a detective anymore and he's just retiring for good and that's why there are no more books and that's his last case. Or maybe he just flat out dies. Anyways, I will continue to read now and then I will pop back at the halfway mark maybe, or when I'm finished, as I did with the House Saphir, which I said, oh, I come back when I'm halfway done. I did not. I read the whole thing in one go. What I want to talk about is this book here. I finished it. I actually finished it a while ago, but I just didn't have time to do a video for this. So, however, I finished it and I think I gave it like 3 stars or between 3 and 4 stars. I'm not really sure. However, the more I think about this, the more I would actually only give it 3 stars. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't not bad at all. And I love the fact that it was not from Poirot's POV and it was Hastings who did literally most of the job. I think like 95% of the job was done by Hastings, but Hastings himself, like I'm sure he's a great and nice guy, but he's also a little boring, you know what I mean? Add to the fact that his wife just recently passed away and that all 3 daughters are living their own lives, and even with the youngest daughter who is in the book and, you know, at the same place at the same time, that relationship is strained as well. So he's not that interesting to me, right? He seems like a strong personality, you know, but also very lonely, and he's not really a private detective, right? As Poirot, I said it in a video before, I don't know what vlog it was, but he has that ability to talk to people and interrogate them without them even knowing that they are being interrogated. Hastings is just not. Hastings is literally just in the book. Yes, he talks to people and he sees and hears things, but it's just not... He's just not making the connections as Poirot does. Maybe that is the point of the book. Maybe Hastings is supposed to represent us, the readers, because a lot of us also don't make the connections and sit there at the end and think, oh, that was the murderer? Are you serious? But yeah, like, I would give it 3 stars because the ending... Oh, are you really telling me this is how the book and the whole, like, Poirot cosmos just ends? Is that it? Yeah, I think I talked about Mr. X, who is very good at playing with people and playing with their minds in order to get them to murder someone. He was always at the murder, or like he knew someone who knew someone, you know, like he was X and he was connected to all of them, right? He literally drove them or saw them commit a murder, right? So here's that X is also at the place that they are right now, and X gets carried off, and it looks like it was suicide. So again, it looks like there was only one possible murderer, as with all the, what was like 5 or 6 cases that Poirot actually showed Hastings. It all only seemed to have one possible murderer. Like, it was just one suspect. That person has done it. But if you look a bit deeper into the cases and the history, you realize, like I said, Mr. X, you know, there could be some more strings being, like, what do you call it? Strings being played? Is that what you know what I mean? Like, there's more to the story than there's seen by naked eye. I'm really mixing up my quotes here, am I not? Oh my goodness. The story ends. I kind of get why the person did what they did, but at the end of the day, it's just so strange that this person would do that, because that person has never known to have done anything like it. Yeah, like I said, the more I think about the book, the more I would give it a 3-star reading. I had a good time, but the ending is just... Is that really, like I said, is that really how it's going to end? All of it. Is this it? Maybe it was not the best book just to start. Well, I'll start. It's like 4th or 5th Poirot that I've read. It's the last one. Also, why am I not wearing my glasses? I took them off to... I can see. I took them off to get this hoodie on because it's a little cold here and I never put them back on. Yeah, maybe it was not the best choice to pick the last book as like the 5th or 6th book that I ever read of Poirot, because this is like they are coming back together to Styles, the Rambling Country House of Styles. I do not know what case or what book it was that this place showed up first, right? Because I'm not reading them in order. I honestly don't think, and it's not my library's fault at all, but I don't think they have them in order either. So, you know, they have like a huge bookshelf of just Agatha Christie. And if it was not for, well, obviously here's his Poirot. Sometimes you have a little mustache. If it was not for the mustache, I would not even know there's a Poirot book, right? Obviously it says, you know, I don't even know what Miss Marple has as a little sign, but it's really hard to know what book you're actually picking. So I always make sure there's a Poirot one. And this time it was the last one. If my library had them all in order, you know, like from Poirot 1 to Poirot 44, it would have been easier. But then, even then, you know, some books might be already borrowed by someone, and I'm curious to see when I will get to the House of Styles. How funny would it be? I have to go back to the library on Tuesday. Today is Sunday. How funny would it be if I randomly pick the book where they were here for the first time? You know what I mean? That would be fucking hilarious. That would, oh my god, can you imagine? That was my vlog. Again, weeks in the making. It's been a long time since I finished the book. To the point where I'm, I think, 60% done with the last Crescent City book. 800 pages. And where I finished this one as well. And I got a new book. You'll all see that in the Herkit update, which I don't even know when that will come. I think I said I would finish the vlog when I'm done with Crescent City, and that is still going to take me a while. So anyways, let me know what you think. If you read this book, and maybe if you read the whole series in order, let me know if this was a good ending for you. Or even the perfect ending. You know, you think, oh, this is exactly how I want it to end. Because I'm kind of left wanting more. But that might just be me. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed the book. I hope you enjoyed the book as well. I hope you enjoyed the vlog, the video. I feel like it's very hit or miss, because some Poirot books are really good, and some are just not that good. I've never had a bad one. I never had one where I said, you know what, I don't want to finish this book. It's a clearly an F for me. But it was, I never had a 5-star Poirot book. I don't think it, not even, and then the one on had 5 stars for me. So, anyways, I see you in the Herkit vlog. Or maybe I will see you in the library hall, because obviously I'm going on Tuesday, and I don't think I can finish Crescent City. But that's a whole other story, so bye.